So if you struggle to find what you need when you're working in your kitchen, this is the video for you. Well, hey, welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be talking about decluttering our kitchens. Now, the main focus of this one is going to be your cabinets or your cupboards, your drawers, or any spaces that hold pantry items. Now, for the kitchen, I personally am not going to KonMari this. I decided to be very deliberate about going from space to space. This was just a lot more convenient and just less overwhelming. So I'm going to tell you the steps that I took to conquer all of these little spaces in my kitchen. The first thing that I did was open up a cabinet or drawer, and I emptied every single thing out of it. I laid it all across my counter. I only worked with one cabinet or drawer at a time because I get overwhelmed easily. I also store things like medications, vitamins, supplements in my kitchen, so the same for those things as well. I had to check all of them and make sure that they were not already expired. Usually it's those things that are kind of pushed way back in the back of your cupboard you'll find that are probably expired if you haven't done this in a while, which I had not, apparently. Once you find those things that are done for, find a way to responsibly discard of those items, and then we're going to look at what we have left. Now, with what we have left, we're going to decide how we want to split these things up into categories. I'm going to link below to a fun little quiz that you can take that's going to show you what your organizational style is. You're going to either be a bee, a butterfly, a ladybug, or a cricket. We all have Amazon boxes laying around. Don't tell me you don't. And I used that to put all of my baking goods in. All of the flour, any cupcake liners that we had, food coloring, whatever. If it's for baking, I put it in the box and I slapped a quick little label onto it made out of from a recipe card and a permanent marker and a piece of tape. I put it on the top shelf because another thing that you're going to want to make sure that you're doing is that you're putting the things that don't get used as often higher up or lower down or further back. And the things that you use frequently, you want those toward the front in your cupboards and your drawers, and you want them to be about like between your belly button and your eyes. That's like in a perfect world, and if you have the space to make that work, obviously. You're going to put everything back in now. Now, another thing is, you might be more of a visual person. Now, a butterfly or a bee, they're super visual, artsy-fartsy. Both of my sisters are this. You might see people that are visual have pretty little coffee mug holders or have their coffee mugs hanging out in a pretty little spot or a cute little, coffee bar area. These are visual people, and that's awesome. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means it's different from me. So I don't want to tell you how I do it and make you feel like you have to do it how I did it. I want you to acknowledge how you enjoy doing things and just work with that. So now you've got everything put away nicely, and you're going to label things as needed. I'm not saying you're going to label like where your spoons and your forks and your knives go, because you probably know where they go, but maybe you changed up a few things and you're worried that your kids or your husband or someone is going to be confused about where did you put the bread. Maybe you made a new spot. Like for us, I cleared out so much old like medication and vitamins and just crap out of our cupboard that I had this big empty space, and I decided to make it our snack location. And you know my kids love that. So now we've got like stuff in there like crackers and raisins and whatever, and it's all in one spot. It's amazing. And I wrote what it is with an arrow pointing. This is where it goes. And it's really simple and it works. So yeah, once you've got everything put away now, you're going to go into this season of evaluating whether the things that you have are still serving you, if there's anything else that maybe you can let go as you move forward in this process, and even if there's things that are maybe not in the best location that you'd like to move closer to the front. Maybe you've got things on the counter that you would like to put away. I actually took our toaster and I put it up into a cupboard because it was annoying me that it was always in the middle of the counter. And I always thought because it gets used almost daily that it should be on our counter. And I love Joshua Becker from Becoming Minimalist. Just recently I was reading something that he said about this, about your counters. I think that he's a lot more hardcore minimalist than what I am at this point, and I think he has almost nothing on his counters. I do have decor and things on my counters, but with the toaster, he got me because he said, you know, we think that if we use something even once a day, that it should be on our countertops taking up space. But if you think about it, how many seconds or even minutes does it take you to make a piece of toast? Now, how many hours and minutes of each day are you not making toast? It went in the cabinet, and we're trying it out. And it's okay if it comes out later. If we just really decide that it's driving us crazy and we want it to come back out, it's fine. You're going to go into this season of evaluating where things are located and if the things that you have are still serving you. And as you perfect this, you might start having more fun in the kitchen. Now, another thing that's been really convenient for me and anyone else that feels like I have a brown thumb with gardening too, but I have a brown thumb with cooking. Is that a thing? Anyways, in this process of me being more comfortable with the kitchen, decluttering the kitchen has been huge. And also, as I have made recipes, if the majority of us enjoyed the meal, I actually will write it down on a recipe card. And I don't actually put things into a recipe box. I actually tape it on the inside of my cupboard door. There are so many fun, creative ways to organize recipes. This is just what's working for me. So as you're going through this process of deciding what things are going to stay and what things are going to go, I want to warn you that you're going to come across a few different reasons for wanting to hang on to an item that you don't ever use or don't actually need. And here's what it is. The first one, and probably the biggest one, is it costs you a lot of money. I've done this. I've made oopsie purchases and then later decided I don't like this or don't need it, but then I felt silly for getting rid of it, so then I just went into a deep, dark corner of my kitchen. I'm guessing you know what I'm talking about. The second is, it was a gift, likely a wedding gift from 10 to 20 years ago. And here's the thing, this is the hardest with family because we want to, and it's hard with anybody, because when you give somebody a gift, whether it's a kid or a friend or whoever, you put thought in the gifts that you give. And it's important to you that it's important to them. And whereas it may have been important to them in that season of their life, it's okay for us to move into different seasons of our lives. And as we move into these different seasons, some things from the past don't serve us anymore in our present. You are pardoned. If you needed to hear that, you are allowed to let things go that is not getting used. Because if you're not using it, you're really not honoring the item or really the person that gave it to you, because it's not getting used. So it's going to be able to bless somebody else. The third one that I had noticed that I came across was thinking to myself, well, I might need it later. Have you ever said that about something? You might need something. If you might need something, you might have family or friends or a neighbor that might have that exact same item, or 4 of them that would happily let you borrow it. I know we're in this crazy day and age where we are in the land of convenience and we own everything that we need and way too many things that we really don't need, that it's almost unfathomable for us to think of us not just owning something or purchasing something that we need. But it's amazing. You can actually borrow things, or you can totally get by without it. This is the story of the mesh strainer. So, I'm looking at this mesh strainer as I'm going through my cabinets and drawers and everything, and decided we have a strainer. It works perfectly for macaroni and cheese noodles. Why do I need a mesh one? I have no idea why we have it. I'm asking my husband, do you use a mesh strainer? And he's trying to make up something about he used it, that one time before World War I. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm looking at it and decide, not worth it. I'm letting it go. No one uses it. There's no purpose for it. I have a strainer. I don't need a mesh one. 3 days later, I have 6 little girls looking at me with these cute little eyes saying, can we have hot chocolate, please? We were playing outside and we're cold. My girls had friends over. Okay, sure. I know exactly where all the hot chocolate is because I had just organized my cabinets, now didn't I? Well, unfortunately, I only had 4 hot chocolate packets left. So I'm thinking I could be cheap and split it up, but I'm not going to be the mean mom when the friends are over, So I think I'll just use up these 4 packets and I'll make some homemade hot chocolate. Well, what tool does all of the DIY hot cocoa recipes online ask for? You guessed it, a mesh strainer. They're calling for powdered sugar, cocoa powder, and they want you to filter it through a mesh strainer, not once, but twice. So I am feeling like 2 inches tall at this point, because this was it was going to be an easy win for me. I was going to be the cool mom that totally made homemade hot chocolate and saved the day for the freezing, adorable little girls. So I'm telling my husband the story as I'm frantically looking through the kitchen thinking, maybe I didn't actually get rid of it. Maybe I changed my mind and put it away. No, it's gone. So I decided to improvise. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't have a mesh strainer when I actually could have used one, and a recipe literally called for one. And I felt so silly because I literally just got rid of it. And let me tell you what, I promise you, I did not die. Our house did not explode. The children did not burst into tears. I used a regular strainer. It was not perfect, but I fluffed that stuff through it and I got the clumps out. I stirred it on the stove with some milk, and my child, who is the pickiest child that I know on this planet, said it was delicious. So I'm calling that a win. Well, I hope you guys were encouraged by this video to go tackle your own kitchen cupboards and drawers and your pantry. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below if you took that Clutterbug quiz, and let me know what your organizing style is. What bug are you? I hope you guys are doing awesome. We have some scary cold weather coming up this week, and I hope that you are staying warm and blessed, and maybe you'll even make some hot chocolate with your family. God bless you.